Hi, welcome to the video on tensor calculus. In this video, we will discuss about how to represent a vector in indicial notation. So let us consider an answer system. So let's let this be the x-axis, y, and z. So let this be the axis system x, y, and z. So in this axis system, let us consider a vector. A vector, say u. Let us consider a vector u, and let us say the unit vectors are I vector, j vector, and k vector. Okay, so u is the vector, it is a vector, and I, j, and k are the unit vectors. So and x, y, and z are the axes, system which we considered. Fine. So now I can resolve this vector u in x, y, and z components. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resolve it. U vector is nothing but it is equal to, if we resolve into x, y, and z components, we get ux I vector, that is the vector in the x direction, plus uy j vector plus uz k vector. So from our basic engineering mathematics, we know how to resolve the vectors. We have resolved the vectors into x, y, and z components. So what is ux? Ux is nothing but the component of u vector. It is nothing but the component of the vector u in x direction, in capital X, in x direction. Similarly, what is uy? Uy is the component of u in y direction. Similarly, uz, it is the component of the u vector in z direction. So we know this from our basic engineering mathematics, from our basic vector algebra, we know this concept. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this or change the notations. That is, instead of using x, y, and z, I'm going to name the axes as 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so instead of x, I'm going to replace x as 1, axis 1, and y as axis 2, and z as axis 3. I'm just renaming the axes. Instead of x, y, and z, I name it as 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3 are my axis system. Instead of x, I have 1. Instead of y, I have 2. Instead of z, I have 3. So 1, 2, 3 are my axes. So 1, 2, and 3 are the axes. Similarly, instead of I vector, j vector, k vector, which are nothing but the unit vectors, I am going to rename or replace this I vector as e1, e1 vector, that is my unit vector in x direction, and e2 vector, that is a unit vector in the y direction, and e3 vector, that is a unit vector in the z direction. That is a unit vector in the z direction. So I, j, and k are being I, j, and k are replaced as e1, e2, and e3. So e1, e2, e3 are the unit vectors. Now, so now if I replace x, y, z by 1, 2, 3, and ijk by e1, e2, e3. Let us see what happens to this u vector. So the u vector has been replaced, the u vector has been written as in the component form as uxi vector plus uyj vector plus uzk vector. Okay, so let us try to rewrite this equation, this particular equation. So we have u vector is equal to, so u instead of x we have 1. Okay, instead of x we have 1. So u1 instead of I we have e1 plus uy is nothing but u2, j is nothing but e2 plus uk, u3, z, sorry k, it is e3. So e1, e2, e3 are the unit vectors in x, y, and z. 1, 2, and 3. Not x, y, and z. It is 1, 2, and 3. So yes, we have done it. So what we can do, we can replace, we can observe that one is getting one is getting repeated twice. It is when one is repeating twice, two is repeating twice, and three is also it is repeating. So 1, 2, and 3 are the repeated indents. So we can rewrite as u vector is equal to ui ei. Simply we can write u vector as ui vi, ui ei. That's all. So it is a summed index, that is a repeated index. I is a summed index or the repeated index. So it has been summed over I. So if I expand this particular equation, we have the above equation u1 e1 plus u2 e2 plus u3 e3. Fine. So what I did, we have just replaced x, y, z by 1, 2, 3 and I, j, k by e1, e2, e3. So what we did, we didn't change any of the physical meaning of the representing a vector. It's still a vector only. We have just changed the way of representing the vector. Instead of x, y, and z, we name the axis system as 1, 2, and 3. If you have got any doubts, please mention in the comment so that I can clarify it. Thank you.